I'm Chef Preeti Mistry. My food is a combination of my Indian heritage, my time in London, and produce of California. Today we're cooking Dungeness crab, and I am so stoked. I love Dungeness crab, living in Northern California. I can't wait until crab season starts sometime around Thanksgiving in November and goes all the way to March. Also, this dish reminds me of a dish that I had in Mumbai from a restaurant called Mahesh Lunch Home. For this dish, we're actually gonna break the crab down before we put it in there. It's not gonna be cooked whole. You can just twist the legs off, super easy. These are the tiny little ones that I love because it's almost like a competitive challenge to get the little tiny bits of meat out of there. That's one of the things I love about Dungeness crab is also that it's a really interactive food. It takes a lot of work, but it's worth it, and it's super fun, which is why it's also so great around the holidays, because I feel like it's something that people can sit around a table for quite a long time and just keep snacking and munching away. We're gonna pull the apron back here and scrape all of this. This is the liver, or tamale as it's called in London. This is really where a tremendous amount of the flavor is. I know some people don't like it, it's a little too strong for them. That's fine. No judgment if you don't want it in there. So you've got these gills, that's what these are, and they're also known as dead man's fingers. And the reason for that is they will not be a good thing to eat, basically. We'll keep it at that, not a good idea. So we're just gonna tear these off, and you can see they sort of feathery along the edges. And then we'll go on the other side here, same thing, and get rid of those. As well as these little teeth right here. We don't want those. I got these crabs from the fishmonger already cooked, but not cleaned. One of the reasons I did that is because I didn't want to lose out on any parts that they might decide to just hold back, like this delicious liver right here. All right, now we're gonna take these two bodies. We want to pull back this part right here. Just that part right there is all we want to take off. So this is the piece that you want right here. We've got all of the gills taken off and just that little apron coming off. And we've taken out the stomach and all of this bit right here so that you're just left with this body. We've broken them in two. We're just going to cut them one more time right along here. And look at that. Look at all of that delicious crab meat. These are the easy ones to pick. All right, now that we've cleaned our crab, we're ready to make the ginger curry leaf base. So we're gonna start with a ½ pound of unsalted butter and get that melting. And while we're doing that, we're gonna work on some of the aromatics. We're gonna start with a little bit of ginger that I peeled and just run it through the microplane to quickly mince it. That's about 2 tablespoons there. And then we're gonna run the garlic through the same way. Okay, now we have the butter all melted. Next thing we're gonna add fresh curry leaves. They really bring out their flavor when they're fried in fat. You can hear them start to sizzle. Be careful, it can be a little bit dangerous. So we're gonna go in with the ginger and garlic. You really just want it to like absorb into the butter. We're just making a delicious butter that's coating the crab and getting in all the crevices. And then finally, I'm gonna go in with some Indian red chili powder. This is a Kashmiri red chili powder, so quite a bit hotter than your typical cayenne. The Kashmiri red chili powder really makes the dish. And finally, I'm just gonna add a little white wine. It's gonna start to come up to a boil. We can add in the tamale. Wow, that is just gonna like amp up the crab flavor in the dish tremendously. So what I'm doing now is I've got it on a super high heat and I'm just continuing to kind of smell it to make sure that the alcohol is cooked off. You'll know the difference when you can smell the grapes but not the alcohol. There won't be as much of a like tanginess in your nostrils. And now we're gonna add all of the crab. Just gonna pile it in there. And we wanna mix it to meld all of the flavors in there. So once you get it nicely sort of turned once or twice, we're gonna put it in the oven at 350 degrees for about 8 to 10 minutes, just to let all of those flavors really come together. So the crab has now been in the oven for 10 minutes. I just took it out and it's nice and bubbling and hot, and we are just going to plate this really simply. Oh, there's a nice big claw. Wow, and the smell of this butter under here is amazing. We're going to just drizzle all of that yumminess on top. And I'm just gonna garnish it with a little bit of cilantro. So this will add like a nice herbaceous touch. And then finally, in addition to a little herbs, it's always nice to have a little lemon on the side here. And you've got ginger chili Dungeness crab.